welcome to the podcast, man.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you guys having me. Happy to be here.
It's cool because we had your label mate on, Glocko, a few episodes back. He was super cool. He had a great time. We had more of a panel that episode with all the homies. Shout out to Adam. Shout out to Sergio. They'll be back on soon too. But yeah, man, it's cool. I've seen your body of work and everything, and you know, Spanish rapping. And you're from Mexico, right?
Yeah, I was born.
That's dope. What city were you born in again?
So I was born in Toluca, Estado de Mexico.
Oh, okay.
It's like, I would say, like 40 minutes away from Mexico City.
Ah, dope. Okay.
Yeah.
I've grown it out like once or twice in my life, but never super long. Like I always got it to a point where I just chopped it off because like you can't do anything with it. You know what I mean? Like it's either you got to slick it back, and I don't really like how my hair looks like back sometimes. You know what I mean? Or you got to like comb it over and shit like that. But now I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna just grow it out and see how it looks. You know? So it's dope. I'm glad you took the time to commit, because it is a commitment.
It is a commitment
to do that, bro.
Yeah, it is a commitment. It is a commitment. Like, bro, I got my brother. My brother, he lets it grow to like down to like, like here, that he'll cut it and he'll do it again. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know if I could do it again.
Yeah. That's a lot of time you put into that, man.
Are you planning on having any size? Like,
no, I mean, I'm probably gonna do kind of like how like yours is kind of fade up to where it looks good and stuff, and just comb it back or whatever, or just like ponytail it or something. I don't know. We'll see how it looks when it gets there. Because my hair is pretty wavy. You know, I think a lot of Mexicanos, we have wavy hair. You know, it's not like super curly, but it's kind of like, you know,
that's cool
like
hair.
Like,
yeah, that's cool hair. I wish I had hair like that. When it's like plain straight.
Yeah, Rome's is like that too. Like Rome's is straight. Like his hair is just straight up, like you know, straight and spiky. So if he grew his shit out, it'd probably just look like a white dude, I think.
Like a white dude. Like a skater.
Yeah, like an emo skater dude.
That's all good though.
You should do it, bro. You should do it.
I want to.
It's in style again, bro.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, because like you could be like in the best compliment ever. You could be in like a soap opera or something. Like women probably love that shit, right?
Oh,
like,
damn.
The long hair or something. I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I've been told. I've been told.
So dope.
You know what's crazy? So the last time I had my hair kind of long, and it wasn't like super long like Lalo's, but it was long enough. But I was seeing this girl and she loved it, right? She fucking loved it. And she would pull my fucking hair when we were doing shit, bro. Like I'd be killing it and she'd just go like reach up and like get on my neck and just pull my shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
Did you like it as much as the girls do?
I mean, I was like, it was kind of weird, but I was like, I get it.
Again, bro.
I was like, I get it. Like,
oh shit.
Yeah, that's funny.
Did any bitch try to pull your hair?
Yeah, bro, they do. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say I don't like it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say it feels bad.
That's dope.
But like, especially white girls, bro. White girls like long hair, bro.
Yeah. Going into girls and stuff. So the new music video, the Sancho Panza. That's a good video too. Like the whole concept, like being security and stuff like that. But finding the porno mags, I kind of wanted to bring up, like, because we're all guys. When did we first see our first porno mag or something, and what ones stick out? Because you had remember there was wrestling. It was
Sable. Yep.
Right. Did you watch wrestling back then?
Back in the day.
You know who Sable is? Or?
No, I watched wrestling, but I don't know if it was like during that time.
So she was a female wrestler. Like, very. How would you describe her?
I mean, she was just like, you know, I guess like the blonde bombshell, right? She had the big boobs, blonde hair, you know, nice ass.
Like the WWE girls.
Yeah, like WWE girls. You know what I mean? But she was like in Playboy,
right?
And our uncle or Theo had her Playboy. And I remember he fucking called us to the garage, bro. And he's like, don't tell your grandma, don't tell your mom, but check it out, look what I got. And it was her Playboy, so we got to see her naked and shit. And we were like, you know, wrestling fans. And so seeing her naked, we were like, oh shit,
how old were you guys?
That's Sable. Probably like 10, 11, maybe.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's our first ever encounter with Playboys, though. There's a story to that. We'll counter that one, though. Yeah, what do you remember?
Same. I remember like being like in 6th grade, like friends bringing that shit, like type of shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But so in Mexico, my family they sell shoes, right?
Okay, yeah.
And when you go to the bathroom, I don't know if it's still there, but when you went to the bathroom, like since it's all guys, like the bathroom is just fucking like.
Just
girls,
in the bathroom.
Yeah, like everywhere there's girls, bro. You got magazines and you find girls. Like you're like, oh shit.
Even when we were young, when we'd go to Vegas, like there'd be those cards all over.
Yeah, all over the strip.
You know, just like escorts or something
for the
like
call
that.
girls.
Yeah, and you just walking around.
I remember like just grabbing a couple too, just be like looking at them in the shower and shit.
Like their Pokemon cards, like seeing which ones you got.
It's like, damn, I think this is worth the most.
There's some holographic ones.
But yeah, I don't know. Remember that time our cousin found some, and it was like when we lived in that apartment complex, and then he like buried them or something, but he got caught.
He got caught.
And then I don't know if he blamed us or what happened.
Yeah, so bro, we were living in this apartment complex here in Ogden, and so me and Rome lived with our mom, and our cousin, who's not much like older than us, he's probably like a year older than me. He was living with his mom, who's my mom's cousin. So we just like were a unit across from each other, like a building across from each other. And we'd hang out all the time, right? Well, he had this guy in his complex that hid porno mags in his like storage unit. Yeah. And this fool broke into the guy's fucking storage unit and took all his nudie magazines, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my cousin. And he took them all, and then he like fucking buried them up in the hills and shit and the mountains. And then he fucking showed me in Rome. And he's like, yeah, look at all these, porn mags or whatever. And so we'd sit there and like look through them, being, curious little boys or whatever. And then I can't remember who ratted him out, because it was a kid who told his mom, and then his mom went to our cousin and told them, and it became this whole fucking scandal. They were like, oh, the boys have, nudie mags and they're stashed in the mountains and shit. Yeah. And he blamed it on us. He was like, didn't want to, because his mom, our mom was pretty strict, but she wouldn't like whoop our ass. You know what I mean? His mom whooped ass. Like, she was one of those old school Mexican moms. Yeah, because she would beat the shit.
We were. It's calmer. Yeah, it's calmer.
So he's like, Roman and Rudy are the ones that took him, and so we took that for him. You know what I mean? We took the case. Cousins. Yeah, good cousins. But yeah, he would have got his. He still probably got his ass beat, but he would probably got it worse.
What was your parents like? Were they strict or were they?
Yeah, growing up they were Mexican parents too. They're Mexican parents too. Like, yeah, they were strict.
What could you do? What couldn't you do? Or something.
So I think my mom was less strict than my dad.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But like when we were living over here, it was different because we were young, we were little.
Oh, right.
So yeah, we were like saying we weren't allowed to go out most of the times. Mm-hmm. We had to get like special permissions and shit. Like we couldn't play video games that long. Like they would only let us play video games like weekends and like an hour.
Yeah,
an hour. Yeah, so like so you guys gonna get hooked on that. And I understand now, bro, because you see little kids now, and you're like, damn,
bro, it's so true. Like my son, so I have a 10-year-old son, right, and he just games. Like he can game all day long, and I was kind of like the same too, but the games now are like way more in depth. Yeah. Like he has VR and shit like that. Mm-hmm. So he can literally just get like lost in the game all day, and 12 hours will pass for him. He's been gaming all day. Like at least like I feel like when we were young, like the original PlayStation and like Sega Genesis and Nintendos or whatever, it was fun and we wanted to play them, but it just wasn't enough to keep us there in front of the TV for like 12 straight hours. You know what I mean? We still wanted to go outside and ride bikes, play ball or whatever like that. Yeah. But shit, I think games now, like, look at the metaverse shit. Kids aren't going to want to go outside at all once they get a hold of that. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're just going to have their own life on there and just be like, fuck, I don't even need to go see outside. I can go to this country, that country in the metaverse. You think
they're going to be flexing? Like, I got this shit in the metaverse. Yeah. Like, I got this car or something.
They're already doing social media.
Are they can only flex it in the metaverse?
No, they're going to do
They're going to do it all, bro.
I have a friend and he jokingly says, he's like, I'm going to buy my parents, I'm going to buy terrenos in the metaverse. It's like...
What is
terrenos is like land.
Yeah,
it's finite, right? So that shit's expensive, though, right?
It will. I'm guessing it's gonna be expensive.
Yeah, definitely would.
Yeah, bro. Whoever can't flex in real life, they're gonna flex in there.
Yeah, or they could be like, I do have that, but maybe they don't. I don't know. Not saying your friend, but
Well, have you seen the NFT shoes? Have you guys seen that?
No, I haven't seen.
So there's augmented reality shoes, bro. Yeah.
You can make it look like that.
Yeah, they're NFTs, and you can like just with your camera or whatever, like augment reality, make it look like they're on your feet, and they're like
Snapchat filters.
Yeah, they're like filters, but you own them, right? They're NFTs. And they're shoes, like fucking. There's like PlayStation shoes, or like there's a whole bunch, bro. Like Ferrari shoes and shit. But like that's how people are gonna flex. You know what I mean? Like you don't even have to own a physical product anymore. You just have it digital, and then like the metaverse is gonna heighten that because you can have a badass house or whatever it is on there. And you're just like, shit, this is what I got here. I could live in a 1-bedroom apartment and have a whole fucking mansion in the metaverse,
I'm trying to think what would be some of the flexes that you wouldn't think were a flex, like having like a digital girlfriend or something.
Yeah. Probably.
I don't know.
Giving yourself making yourself buff as fuck.
Right. You don't want to go to the gym. You're fit in the metaverse.
Yeah, you're like 4'10", but you put yourself at like 6'5" or something.
Just towering over motherfuckers in the metaverse. That's what I would do if I had a fucking like a avenue like that. I would charge people for height because everybody wants to be taller, right? And I'd be like, hey, it's a premium, buy like I don't know, like fucking $5 per foot or whatever per inch, $5 per inch, and then you want to be 8 foot tall walking around, like you're gonna pay $50 for that
so
shit.
Crazy how much money is spent on like this digital shit.
Yep.
I don't know.
Are you guys into anything of that?
I was in. And I am into crypto, and I've made money off that. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was for a cause too. But now that I just see it as a money, making thing. But yeah, if it's not for a cause, then I don't know. I kind of look at it as like, what the hell are we doing as a human race?
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you?
I have crypto.
Are you into anything?
I have crypto too.
Yeah.
It's not like. It'll be dope, bro. Like, I know people, like, that's their day job and shit. And that'll be dope to do.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I feel like you can let yourself get sucked by all that type, like, all the NFT. But you kind of have to, like, go with your times. Because you have to evolve, too. Because that's another way of making money.
Yeah.
That's true.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah. If it's an asset, then, people have made money in other stuff. So, why not do it?
Yeah.
But just, like... millions of dollars for like a square, little square footage of land.
Yeah.
I get it. Advertising is huge marketing.
Right.
That's why the companies get it. So, there's it makes sense why they would invest in it, but just the whole concept of it is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
What ads do you guys remember the most, or what influenced you guys marketing wise?
Oh man, I mean, I think that's funny because when I was going to learn how to like act and stuff, because I wanted to be a commercial actor. That's where I went for, remember? Yeah. So I went to this academy and shit like that, and they would teach you all this. But we had this game that we'd play because the reason behind the game was to see just how much influence advertising had on you, right? And so the guy who was running the class would just say like the beginning of a jingle, like, get in the zone. Mm-hmm. And then we'd say auto zone, right? So it automatically. Yeah. And so he would do that all the time, like with popular ones and ones that you wouldn't even think you knew, right? Mm-hmm. And it was just to show us like how subliminal that shit is. Yeah. Like it's stuck there, like it's somewhere in your mind that jingle's there, you know what I mean? Exactly. Like you remember that movie, that Pixar movie, where it's talking about like emotions. Yeah. I can't remember the name of that. Inside Out. Yeah. And those guys that were the workers in the memory bank, they were like, "Oh, it's that jingle. We love that jingle." And it was like some toothpaste jingle. Like, it's there in the back of your mind somewhere. So
and that's true too. Probably when you do die, or if life flashes before your eyes or something like that, you probably have a lot of shit stored that you don't even know.
You're subconscious, bro.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why like if you go to like people that go to like therapy shit. I don't remember what it's called.
Were you hypnotized or something too?
Me?
No, I'm just saying.
No.
Get hypnotized?
No, yeah, I don't know if it's called, if it's that, but like they kind of like put your finger or like something around it. I've never done it. I've been close to doing that, but fucking shit happened. So yeah, and you'll start remembering, like they'll start asking you questions, and you'll start remembering stuff and things and feeling stuff that you've had stored down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. And they say like that shit, like
that's crazy.
That can like deliver you from like past traumas you have that you don't remember that you have.
So, and we're not therapists, but like, so reliving it, is it just help you remember it and like, because like I feel like I have a good memory that I can pull and recall certain things, not everything. I'm guessing, but if I was to do that and recall a certain moment or how I felt, like how does that help you?
I think maybe so. I've read.
You understand things better now.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
So you could.
Yep. So
it out. Okay.
This has helped me too, but like in just I can't remember what book it was exactly, but a book I read, they were talking about in one certain chapter reliving trauma, right? Reliving events and changing how you felt about it, right?
Okay.
Because you do have like people will have those like moments where they were either scared or they felt threatened or whatever, but it's just you didn't have the right understanding at the time, right? Or you can just see a different perspective. And so basically the chapter in the book was like reliving your past traumas or just your past things, anxieties or whatever, and looking at a different perspective, right? Yeah. And then feeling different about it. And it has helped because there were some things that like I held on to, that made me like angry to think about, right? That had either happened to me or a loved one. And I go back and I'm just like, okay, change how I felt about it. It took a long time, but as you, when you get a grasp of that, it does help you. Cause then when you run into that same situation or just like, or, you know, you're not as triggered by it as you would be. So I think it is helpful. Yeah. You know, that's why people do it.
No, I agree. Yeah. I agree 100%.
Would you guys do therapy? Or would you, do you think online therapy is the same thing or
no,
you have to be in person?
I think it has to be in person.
Yeah.
I did therapy. I've done therapy.
Like if you're doing like,
oh, it's good. Yeah,
I've done therapy, and it's cool, bro. It's cool because I feel like everybody needs shit they got. Like everybody has shit. Like nobody's perfect, and but that's why they were about to do the whole thing that I'm telling you guys about, but COVID came. And so they closed everything down. Yeah, my therapist, she was from like Boston or something, and she was studying here, so they sent her back.
Dang.
So I never got a chance to do that.
Dang.
But
I always wonder if there'd be like hood therapists or something like that.
There's needed.
They give you bad advice though.
Imagine that.
Every time, so, I don't know.
Some hood therapy, bro. Oh, that'd be
go shoot that fool, bro. Go shoot that.
Yeah. You know what, fool? Fucking do it. Or they're like giving you bad advice and like, you know what, man?
Just go get you some good food. Just tell you to cover it up.
Go smoke a blunt, bro. Like,
that's so true. Bro, if you really think about it though, in like the Hispanic community, there is a lot of like covering shit up. You know what I mean? Like be tough or like, you know, fuck it, drink, bro. You know, fucking drink it off. Like you get in a bad relationship or you get a bad breakup or something, your homeboys are just like, oh, fuck that fool. We're going to drink. We're going to smoke. You know, forget about that shit. Like, it's the worst advice.
Yeah, because the next thing, because you remember, bro, and you make calls and you didn't want to make. You're like, damn, what the fuck?
So yeah, there probably shouldn't be hood therapists.
But yeah, that online therapist, because it's like if you're just typing and stuff, like you get things misconstrued or something. I didn't mean it that way, or you don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, it should be video chat. I think.
That should be video chat.
Yeah.
True.
Typing therapy. That's terrible.
That. Well, damn. You don't even know who your therapist is, bro. It's a hood therapist, man.
You don't want to do that.
Oh, shit.
No, but yeah, I think it's important. I think even reading, bro, like personal development books is a form of therapy.
Yeah.
You know, because like you just got to have other people's perspectives on things. Like the worst thing is to be like, so people who are trapped in a certain mindset, they're in a prison, right? But you don't know you're in a prison until you ask the guard, like, what am I doing in here, right? And so you got to like learn other people's perspectives so that you can apply it to your own like thinking and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I'm all about therapy. I mean, I watched The Sopranos too. I'm rewatching that. Did you ever watch that show?
No, but I know what you
gotta watch it too.
It's cool, the concept of the show, because you know he's a mob boss, and he goes to a therapist.
Yeah.
And he didn't know that he needed this therapy, but he has a stressful life. I mean, he's fucking killing people, running drugs, you know what I mean? And so the therapy actually helps him. Yeah. It's a pretty cool show dynamic, you know what I mean? It's an old show, but I'm rewatching it and I'm like, damn, this is actually dope. I can see why people fucking love this show, you know?
Yeah.
Damn, that's a show to watch.
What would you guys say is some of your biggest changes from you back then to you now? Like as a teenager or whatever? Like, I don't know. Any growth, any changes? Or it's turn.
I think, like, for my part, like, when I was younger, like, I'm hella way more sure of myself right now. Like, when you're younger, you're like, you doubt yourself or you're hard on yourself and you're like, damn, fuck, I'm not good at this. Like, fuck, suck at this. Yeah. And then you start getting older and you're like, oh, shit, like, you know, you shouldn't have been so hard on yourself or you shouldn't have told yourself this type of shit.
True.
Because sometimes, like, that's the worst, bro, because sometimes you don't talk yourself more than anybody else does.
That more than
that is true. Self-talk is more important than the outside shit.
Yeah, and you don't realize it.
And you don't realize it. Yeah.
You don't know. You don't know.
Yeah.
Yep. And so that's good. I mean, I would say a lot of mine is just like not being emotionally driven, you know, because for a long time in my life, that I didn't even realize, but I was emotionally driven.
Yeah.
Like I was driven by my emotions. Like if I was mad, I would make it my whole day to be mad, right? I would just feed into that emotion. Yeah. If I was, you know, sad or whatever, I'd feed into the emotion, just let it control my day. But just knowing that like doesn't have to control my day. Like the emotion is just a reaction. You know what I mean? Like I can still think and do things that I need to do and not let my emotions get in the way. And as I'm doing that, and as I learned that, I look at other people and I see how they're emotionally driven. And you know, I'm not, you know, I can't talk to everybody, but when I see somebody like that, I'm like, damn, I can relate to you because I used to be that way. You know, because like I used to let shit like that get me down all day or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think more people should explore like, hey, not being so emotional and be more rational about things. You know what I mean?
Have you ever practiced meditation type of shit?
Yeah, for sure.
You ever read The Power of Now and stuff?
Yeah. Good shit. Yep.
Yeah, that book. I remember that book says that type of stuff. It's like you're not your emotions and stuff.
Yep.
That's why, like, when you get mad before you do anything, you react like breathe in and out, like take like 10 seconds. And then like actually think about it. Like you're not your emotion. You're not mad. You're not the mad.
Yeah.
You are just mad.
Oh yeah, that's good. No, that I do like that. Yeah. I didn't know that, but that sounds good. All right, so this is mine. Check it out if I could explain it. So back then, I would say I was more prideful and more let's just say prideful, right? But it gave me energy to like look the best, be the best, or whatever.
Yeah.
But I grew out of that, and I think that's the best way to be. So I don't think I'm as prideful now, but it gives me a point to where like I don't have desires, so I'm happy or content with whatever. So I'm not chasing or trying to go after anything. So it looks like my ambition is gone, but it's not gone. It's just like I believe in like the Buddha type of thing where you shouldn't have any desires because that's happiness. So what do you think about that?
That's a good point and a concept. I had just heard something not too long ago. I want to say like within the last week or something. It was on another podcast, but he was talking about like happiness isn't a destination, right? Yeah. Happiness is just it's a result of things you're doing, right? Like you can do things that make you happy, but you can't do those all the time, right?
Right.
So you have to have constant contentment with that. You're going to chase happiness at some point, right? Yeah. And it's about like not remaining in that content feeling and exploring things that make you happy when you need it.
Yeah.
It's something along those lines, right? Yeah. So kind of like how you're saying, like you don't have to constantly be driving towards that because a lot of people do that and they burn themselves out because they think, oh, the happiness is there. It's the destination. I want to get there and I'll be happy. Yeah. Then they get there and then they're not happy. They're like, oh shit, I just did all this. And well, what's the next thing that's going to make me happy? Well, nothing's ever going to make you happy. Right. Happiness is just a state of being.
Right.
So you have to be content when you need to be and you need to recharge your batteries. Yeah. Then you pursue the things that make you happy, and as you're happy doing them, just enjoy that happiness.
Just enjoy
what I mean?
Enjoying the process type of
exactly.
thing. Like enjoying the moment.
Do you think that like is it any different for you doing music now? Because I know like when you start something, you just love doing it, and that's why you're passionate. You're passionate about it. But then it gets to a point where like say your last video or has 14,000 views and stuff like that, like it's up there, so I'm sure that feels good and stuff. But do you feel like it's more of a job to have like these results and stuff opposed to back then when you were just having fun? Or is it still fun?
Damn, that's a good question. I don't know, me personally, my music I think is fun.
Okay.
Like I still have fun time doing it, and one of the main reasons is because like we're still like independent.
Yeah,
type of thing. If we were getting hella paid, like being like up there, then that's different because that's when you have all the pressure on you. So right now, I feel like I was reading this book. What was it called? The Power of Why or something like that. Okay. The Power of Why. And he says that like he asked like a bunch of successful people like, "Are you happy?" And raise your hands if you're like satisfied, if you're like happy, and like a lot of them didn't raise their hands. Yeah. But when they asked them, "Oh, did you reach all your goals?" Yeah. Oh. And they're like, "But I wish." But a lot of people wish they could go back to the beginning of the hustle.
Yeah.
To that because they miss that happiness, and I feel like we're still in that happiness right now.
Okay, that's good that you recognize that, because I think if life is a video game, like whenever you beat the game, sometimes you're just like, okay, now what? So but when you're first starting the game, and if you like the game, you're like, damn, this is so fun.
Yeah,
like, I want to just keep playing this game. But then it gets to a point to where it's like, I already accumulated a lot of stuff, or I got whatever experience out of it, so I don't know if I'm happy anymore.
Yeah. Same thing with life, Yeah. And going back to that, I was just thinking about so this book, You Were Born Rich. I've read it like 3-4 times, and I read a chapter every month because it tells you to do that.
Yeah.
And I actually sent that to Glocko too.
Which one is it called?
That's called You Were Born Rich.
You Were Born Rich?
Yep. And so the premise of the book is that we're all born rich, just short of money, right? So we all have rich reserves of what makes us us, you know what I mean? But in the beginning of that book, he talks about like how there was like a meeting back in the day with like all the main companies of that time, the CEOs, right? Like I can't remember if it was IBM, Ford. It's like big name companies, right? They had like a big meeting and stuff. They talked about like what made them successful. And then he goes on to say, well, the leader of this, the CEO or founder of this company committed suicide. This guy died broke. This guy had 4 failed marriages and then eventually, died of a drug overdose, right? So they were never truly happy with their success. So I was thinking about that as he was explaining, how they were talking about they're not happy and they wish they can go back to the beginning. It's because they were never content. They didn't take the time to be content with themselves. And you got to take that time to be content and realize, okay, and celebrate even little achievements. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I reached this mile marker, and it just celebrated. Don't go, you don't have to have a big old fucking party, but at least to yourself, like, celebrate it. Like, shit, bro, and pat yourself on the back because nobody else is going to do that. There may be some people that give you some, kudos or applause and stuff like that, but you got to make sure you're always your number one, fan, and just like, man, you did it. Like, you're doing good. Like, keep going, and then give yourself some time to go through that and be content with it. Then pursue the next thing. Yeah. Because there's people who just keep going. And that could be where these like one-hit wonders happen. If you think about it, they're chasing that success. Boom, they're gonna catch it. They catch that success out of nowhere, and then they're like, "Shit, I don't know where to go from here." You know what I mean? Because I ran so hard to get to this point, I didn't take the time to like look and see who was doing what to get to the next mile marker. Like I just got here and I can't go anywhere else. You know? So
and also like outside forces probably playing to effect too, because it's like, say you do get some success, it's like, I would like to celebrate it, but if you're celebrating with who? People who are genuine or people who want something from you ultimately. Right. So, I mean, that does seem like how Justin Bieber did the Lonely song. Like that I love that song.
They do say it's lonely at the top, bro.
Yeah. Right. Because you don't know who's real and all the time because everybody, is looking out for themselves too. So it's like.
That's why I always joke around, bro. And I'm like, if I get a girl right now, I'm going to keep her. But if I get a girlfriend, I'm rich as fuck. I'm not going to believe her.
Yeah. But that's too. So what would you do? Would you say you do make it, or you do have a success and you have like these access to women, and this is not to like shame or anything, but like say you get do you go after women? Because I mean you have access to these women that are like super bad, right? Super fine and thick or whatever is your
preference
poison,
type of
thing. Yeah. Do you think you look for those qualities in those type of women?
What do you mean?
Like, not to say a woman with all tattoos or, big boobs, big ass or, whatever, she's on social media and popular, that she can't be a good person. I'm not saying that. But are you that most of those women that have a lot of attention, they have vices too, or they have access to other things too, right? Right. So do you try to turn those women into your wife, or how do you try to disguise whatever your success is and try to find somebody who doesn't know anything about you?
No, I feel like it also depends on you as a person, bro. Yeah. Right. If you're using the girls for a flex, like, oh, look at me, I can get all this stuff. That's all the girls that you're gonna attract. Yeah. But if you're like, let's say that you're not just like, oh, I'm rich. That's not just you. Like, you got other shit. Like, like if you want to, like, you could find a girl that likes you and shit. You kind of have to look harder. Yeah. But you have to know which girls are not good and which girls are like wifey material type of thing.
But I feel like everybody is at the beginning, but then you find out the baggage or whatever they are later on.
Oh, I got what you're saying. Well, I mean, for what's like that saying, right? You'll get to know somebody after 3 months. Like the first 3 months is just the buffer, and you're getting through all the like. Oh, the honeymoon shit.
But if you're successful and you're working, you don't have that time to check up on them or see what they're doing or how they are.
And that goes into like, so men, right? We can marry down, and we're willing to marry down, right? Like, let's say we were successful, super successful, right? We could look and like find a woman who's doesn't have anything, you know what I mean? And we have something to provide them, so we can marry down, right? And then get somebody. Good too, it is good. Yeah. But women want to marry up. Right, so that person that we're marrying down for is like, holy shit! I just hit the jackpot. My Disney fairy tales come true. You know what I mean? But once women are at a certain level, they will never come down. Yeah, like you can't look. Don't ever think that like a video vixen, right? Like somebody, you know, or whatever, like a female rap star, or whatever, like that. She's never gonna marry a guy who's on his way up, you know, unless he has like or some star potential. And he has like some star.
No, this brought me to. So guys, they'll order a female bride because you know she's beautiful.
Right.
They'll probably respect him and treat him like a king.
Yeah.
But do you ever hear like of a woman ordering like a mail order? You know, husband?
No,
that fool's poor. I don't want to take care of this fool. Like, I don't know, right?
Yeah, unless they're like, you've seen, because you watch that show, that 90 Day Fiance.
Yeah. Oh,
unless
they do.
Over the hill. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're older, they can't attract a man.
They are. There are girls that do that.
There are girls that do that.
There are girls that like.
I don't think to the extent of men, though.
Yeah.
No, hell no.
No.
Because men have their pride, bro. Their ego, like their own shit. Like, I'm supposed to be the fucking...
Yeah. Yep. The provider. And
especially you're Latino, bro.
Oh, yeah. That machismo, man.
Yeah, I don't know. What have your relationships been like? Like, are there patterns, or like, are you in a serious relationship, or like, do they always end because of a certain way? Like, you work too much, or something? Or I don't know. What do you think?
I kind of, I would say I kind of don't give myself the time to be like trying to like actually like establish something serious.
Okay.
Because like sometimes like. Getting a message, oh, where you at? Or getting like, a girl starting to get jealous because like somebody else looked at you for some reason you don't even know why.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like it kind of like drives you out. Like you're like, oh shit. Like to me personally, bro, like being how my time is, like, cause like you know I work, I do music, I fucking you know. Man, this is an advice, and I have this song called Volar. Do you speak Spanish?
Which means
a little bit.
I don't, but our listeners might not too. So what is it?
So volar means fly.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so that's especially the first verse. I have a homie. I have one of the guys that like actually has helped me a lot in this music shit called David Rolas. Shout out to David Rolas. I remember one time we were sitting down. He tells me, "Yo, like you gotta like before you get with the girl, you have to like tell her like, yo." This is what my life is about. Like, you know, like there's like, I'm always like working and always, this is, you gotta accept it.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, part of me like wants to be with the girl that's also doing her own grind. That's also working because then we'll understand each other's times and understand each other's value type of thing.
Yeah, but that does sound good, but then it's double the, you know, hard to find the time to make for schedules to align and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So... I don't know.
That's why celebrities are like in open relationships and shit.
Bro, it's so true. And then like so in recent kind of like celebrity news, right? Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonnet split up, right?
Yeah.
And the reason that I read is because he got more roles now. Like he was kind of like in and out of productions and stuff. He only had Game of Thrones going for him for a while, but then he booked like Aquaman, and now he's like doing all this other shit. And she doesn't like it. Like, not that she doesn't like it, but she doesn't have room for it in her life. Yeah. Where she was the star when they were together.
Damn,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now he's out doing his own thing and stuff. And she's like, I don't want to travel. She's like, I love my life here in LA. Like, I don't want to leave LA all the time. Yeah. And so they said it conflicted with their relationship, right? So it happens sometimes. Like, it worked for a moment. It was working for them because they had lives that kind of meshed well together and stuff like that. And now she's, you know, hey, your life doesn't work with me. We can't do this anymore. You know, type thing. Yeah. And he's fucking Jason Momoa. Like, there's so many girls out there that would be like, I will fucking carry your bags. I'll carry your bags and fucking do everything I have to go with you. You know what I mean? But yeah, that just goes to the point. Like, you know, she has a lifestyle she's accustomed to. When women get to a lifestyle they're accustomed to, there's no fucking
even guys, bro. Like if you get to a lifestyle where you're like I'm good, like
you're not bending
people
that
change,
for
bro. Like you know, your same goals are not the same that they were like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
and your goals in 10 years are not gonna be the same ones you have now.
True. Do you think women are her in that case? Her case, I respect her for doing that because she's, you know, she does what she wants to do, I guess. But do you think she's like, oh, I already had him, so it's like, you know what I mean? Maybe they've done that. Like,
yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was funny because this one guy that I listened to on his podcast, he was saying like, oh, well, Jason Momoa should be out of that situation because he was with Lenny Kravitz's leftovers for years. Because she was married to Lenny Kravitz before, you know, they got together. Like Lenny Kravitz still looks freaking crazy good at his age. He's 57. Have you seen how ripped he is? Yeah. Fucking he's got a six-pack, just all muscular. He's like, damn, at 57 years old. And you know, it's like that whole cliche where like the guy that had her first is always going to have the the like say so, right? The guy that had her first is always gonna be like, oh well, she's always gonna be my leftovers, whoever gets her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But not that that's the right mentality to have.
I think the females is the same. They
probably are.
They talk about each other like that.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. So he's gonna have all the fucking women that he wants. Now.
Do you think he'll do that? I don't know him personally, or I don't know if you know him in a certain sense.
Yeah, I mean, he probably already has girlfriends. I would say that's what I was trying to say too, like the open relationship shit, right, with celebrities. Yeah, and he probably already had that. He probably already had side women or whatever, and now he's just gonna have a lot more, you know, because he doesn't have to be like, okay, are you okay with me having my wife and this and that. Now he's just like free roam, and he's a bachelor now. He can be with whoever he wants.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
So I think this was my point. Okay, so like so it's sometimes I bet we all get lonely or something like that, right? But if you're single, you might get lonely. I don't know. But unless you're busy, you're working and stuff, But like, in relationships or friendships, you could in jobs, you could get fired, right? Mm-hmm. But in families, I don't know. Do you think you get fired from families type of thing? You could be exiled, right? You could be
like from your parents and stuff.
Anybody, yeah, exactly. Like you could be like disbanded, but ultimately, family, you still stick together throughout your life, pretty much for the most part. So do you think you get fired from being a family member? I don't know. I
mean, I think there's people who have gone through that.
Okay. If you do something terrible,
something heinous,
something absolutely.
I think that's where most of the time, not every time either, but like the mother's love is unconditional. So it's like, if you killed somebody, your mother's probably still have your back. And
but I think you get to the point. I don't have kids, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think you get to the point where like you can't help somebody that doesn't want to be helped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even how much it hurts you, you're kind of like, okay, like.
Yeah.
And it's out of the love that they have to let them go. You know what I mean? Because like sometimes that happens. Like, baby, you can't baby them too long, and then you do, and then you realize it's not good for them. You know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah. But then again, it's like, if you're not there to try to help them, it's like, who will? But then maybe, hopefully, you just let them sink or swim, I guess.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's the thing, like, so in another book that I'm reading, Maximum Achievement, there's a chapter in there about parenting, right? And I'd read the book cover to cover, like maybe once, and I read certain chapters. Like, that's the thing. Yeah. I'll see certain chapters I really like or apply to my life, and I'll reread them, right? Because I learned that through friends and mentors that you're never going to get the same information. Like, if you just read something once, your mind at that time only picked up maybe 10%, 20%, right, of the book.
Yeah.
So if you reread it, you're going to pick up another 10, another 15, another 5 sometimes, but then you're going to add up to what the book is actually trying to tell you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can't just read and throw it away.
Yeah.
So, but this parenting chapter in that book, it talks about, and it hit me kind of like hard because I was like, shit, I was like this, I'm this way with my kids, and I was this way, my parents were this way with me, so I gotta be different. But it's looking at your child as a temporary gift. Because they're a temporary gift to you.
You don't own them. And only for a limited time that they're going to be
with you.
And you're teaching them.
And that time does go pretty fast. Like, I remember I don't know if your parents do this with you, they joke like, man, you grew up too fast. You grew up so fast. I wish you were a baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's because that they didn't take their time when we needed, like when we were at that age where they could have sat and like instructed us and like, did things they wanted to do with us and for us and stuff. Yeah. They just thought it was going to last forever. But it's a temporary gift. The child's a temporary gift. And then when they get to a certain point, you can't have that influence in their life anymore. Yeah. So as they're with you and they're in that time frame, you should do all that you can to instruct them. So as children not instruct, to reassure them and reinforce them, right? Because they don't need instruction necessarily. They need reinforcement. They need you to reassure them that, hey, I am that person that's going to be there for you. You know what I mean? Yeah. And all that stuff that goes along with it. But too many people are like, okay, well, this is a human living with me, just like a roommate or whatever. Some people kind of have that mentality with their kids, and they're like, well, do this, you do what I say. This is my house. Do that, do this. And then you're just teaching them how to live with you.
Yeah, right.
But they're not always going to live with you.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So while they're there temporarily, you need to just look at them as like, okay, this is the time where I have to reinforce you as a person, and then bring you to, when you're in the world, I can teach you the rest of the shit.
Yeah.
And
that could be as young as like, when you're a teenager, you could be rebelling or something like that. So it could be
because you didn't have that reassurance.
Yeah. Exactly.
Some kids rebel because they don't have reassurance from their parents. You know what I mean? It's like in the back of their head. And I realized this like with my own son, right? Like he has this, he needs reassurance because when he was little, I didn't take enough time to let him know. Like I would get mad at him and I'd treat him like our dad treated us, where he'd be like disappointed in us, or he would like, like punish us for something that I just didn't know I needed to do. You know what I mean? And so I would do that to my son, like, because I just figured like, oh, he should know better, you know, but he doesn't know better. He's a child. So instead of like being hard on him for things that I shouldn't expect him to know how to do, I should reinforce him like, hey son, look, you know, I love you. You don't know, you're not doing this correctly, or you should do this way because this, and this, instead of being like, oh, you didn't do that. You know, oh, you don't pick up your room, or oh, you don't, you know, you didn't learn to tie your shoes until you were this age. You know what I mean? It's like you're reinforcing bad. So you should reassure them instead of reinforce, right? Does that make sense? Like you should reassure them that, hey, I'm always going to be here for you no matter what, but I have something to say to you, you know? And a lot of parents don't do that.
What was you like when you were younger? Because you lived in Mexico too, right? Do you think there's any like difference between out there and out here? And how were you? And then is it different programming? Because like I saw a Kanye interview on Jimmy Kimmel, and he's like, Kanye was like, you know, we're in the Matrix because we have these certain programs. So like, you know, a kid doesn't know jumping on a table or a couch is bad until you tell them, hey, stop doing that. That's not good. But to them, you know, they're a superhero or something, you know.
Right.
And then there's a bunch of, you know, jumping on coffee tables or whatever that are instilled in us, you know.
Right.
He said we're all unpaid actors. Yeah. Because that's, you know, we're supposed to fall in line and be how society, you know, wants you to be, or what is portrayed to us on media. So yeah, I don't know. Is it different in Mexico at all, or is it? Yeah. What do you think? What's your take?
Well, I could say that Mexico is kind of like, it's more family type of thing. It's way more family oriented. Yeah. Like you'll have like people like, be like 25, 26 years old living with their parents. Yeah. And it's like nothing. Yeah, it's nothing. Then that's all Latin America, bro. I know Brazilian people that like, they lived with their parents until they're like 30. Then right here it's kind of like looked bad upon. Right.
But it's just like you're sticking together, you're helping each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. You're seeing the people you love every day. But over here it's different.
Over here you're expected to have your own shit. You're expected to like, you know what I mean? And parents will fucking kick their kids out like it's crazy.
Yeah,
like,
they're waiting for them.
Yeah, they're waiting for them to get the fuck out of there. You know? But it's true because like so I'm learning more Spanish. I'm trying to get more better at Spanish because I don't want to look like a fucking failure to my ancestors. But I'm trying to learn more Spanish, and this language app that I've talked about, like with Adam on the podcast and stuff, I meet people from all over. Like I have friends in Mexico City, I have friends in La República Dominicana, all over, bro. And they're like that's how the Latin culture is. Like they don't fucking shoo you out. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're a household, you're a family, you know. And if you move, you're gonna probably just build a pueblo next door, you know. And you're gonna be a fucking family until the end. So
you look at it through that, through like right here. Like when somebody gets old, they put them in a home. I think they're probably home. In Mexico, you keep them with you, bro. Until like they die.
Yeah, they took care of you. You take care of them.
Yeah. I don't know. I can never imagine just putting my parents in like a home.
Sending them away.
Do you think it's selfish? So like say like you want to kick somebody out when they're 18 or something. Do you think it's selfish because it's like, oh, I want my freedom, or I want to go back to my vices or whatever because I don't have.
Yeah, it's selfish.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's
a little bit selfish.
Yeah, it's a little bit selfish.
Unless the kid is fucking up, bro. You're like, you know what, bro, you gotta get the fuck out of here.
That's true. Yeah, if they're bringing like, you know what I mean, if they're fucking your life up. Yeah. Like you guys watch Breaking Bad?
No, but my mom tells me to watch it all the time.
So with Jesse Pinkman, right? Yeah. He was like a fuck up, drug addict, drug dealing guy, and then you find out that his parents are like stand up, really good people. They have like a really nice house. His younger brother's like a fucking star pianist and stuff like that, and they wanted him to do that, but he got fucked up on drugs, so they can't have him around because it messes with their lifestyle, you know? Bro. So that's like a different thing than somebody who just like is living there and then the parents want him out because they want to go travel or whatever it is, you know? You could probably still do that if the person lives at home.
Work around. Like whatever you want to work, or, you know, you're going to try however you want, you know, to make it work, or, you know, you're going to put effort into it. But some people, they just don't give a fuck. They want to, do it the way they want to and not care about anybody else.
I mean, it's not bad, bro. Like, it's not bad. Like, every culture is different. Yeah. And every culture has a good and their bad. I don't know. Right here, I feel like 18-year-olds, like, they're still like, but I feel like it does give you like a sense of independence when you leave the house at 18.
Yeah.
Like I came from Mexico at 18. Yeah. And it does give you like a sense of independence. True. Like you're doing your stuff, you're hustling it for yourself. True. For yourself. I don't know. It depends. It depends on the kid you are.
Not to say like Latinos or whatever have it right, because it's like, yeah, you could still baby somebody and they'd be old and it's not right. You're, right. They're dependent on you or something. So yeah, both sides, have their pros and cons. So yeah,
it depends on the kid, bro.
Yeah,
I feel like it depends on the kid.
Depends on the person.
If the kid is leaving the house at 18 just to get fucking do drugs and shit, then that's kind of.
Or he's staying in the house, he doesn't want to work, and he's just fucking there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just in there eating and fucking not doing anything to contribute to the house. That's another bad. There's like balance, checks and balances, right?
Yeah. I mean, I work at a restaurant.
Do you have a good relationship with food, or like, I don't know, do you have any?
I like food, bro. I fuck with food. Yeah. I hate the industry, bro. I'm not lying. The industry's a bitch.
Talk about that.
And it's gotten worse.
However whatever you want to say, like, I'm open to hear.
Like bro, I've done everything, bro. So I've done everything in the restaurant industry. That's actually I actually like picked up a lot because I managed for like 5 years. I was a dinner manager from when I was like 21 to like 26.
Yeah.
And then I did waiter, I did cooking, I've done everything.
Yeah.
It's a cool industry, bro, because it's more laid back.
Yeah.
It's more laid back and shit, like, especially like if you don't work for a corporation. Like, chill. Like the homies will go to the back, smoke a joint, right? You come back on and start cooking and shit.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any like bad stories or something like that? Like where customers are just like super rude or something, or like you guys like you give them bad service on purpose or something, or I don't know. I always wondered it.
Feeding food, huh?
Whatever.
I don't work in front of the house like with customers lately, but I remember like especially like if you're like in a fast casual and shit, or like not in a fancy place, like customers look down on you. And then there's times where like most of the time you hold yourself back. I remember one time, I don't know what, this girl started calling me, yelling at me because of like fucking catering order they got wrong. It was my last week at that job, so I started cussing at her too. And I was like, fuck you. And then she was like, what's your name? And then I was like, fuck you, and I just hung up. I'm like, it's my last week, I don't care. I don't have to be nice no more.
Pulled an Antonio Brown. You see that in the NFL.
Like, you're 16, bro. You're able to, like, you're drinking in Mexico. You're 16. You're at the bar. You're sipping. And then the fool's right over there. One of my friends, like, I remember one of my friends was out, pendejo. And he fucking just goes to him and fucking socks him. Oh, shit. And then that, like, everybody stood up that day, bro. And that was got crazy.
That was crazy, bro.
I remember that because I fucked up my neck through. I have my neck kind of fucked. And that was from that day. Because somebody came from the back, like, kind of, like, pushes you from the whiplash.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then you don't pay attention to it until like 10 years later when this shit's killing you.
And you start feeling all the shit in your it's from that time.
And you go to the chiropractor and he's like, damn, your lower neck is fucked up. He told me, bro. He's like, really? And I was like, fuck.
You just remember getting hit in the back.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, damn, I remember. That's fun times.
That's cool. I've always like wondered how it would be like living in Mexico. Like everybody looks like you. You know what I mean? Like we're all Mexicans. Like you never see much different. Like there's of course other races that live there and stuff like that. But like I watched this. You told me to watch it. Actually, it's on Netflix. What is it? Fight World. Okay. Where the guy goes around the world like looking at different ways to fight, and he's in Mexico City, and he's at this boxing gym, and everybody there's like my skin tone. Everyone, like there's no fucking anything else but like a person who's
boxing gyms out here.
Yeah, but I'm just saying like a whole city. Think about going to a whole city, and you're just seeing. Right. So it's crazy. It would be cool to see. You know what I mean? Because like I've lived in like Vegas. Like there's parts of Vegas where there's a lot of Mexicans.
Where are your parents from?
Well, they're from here. My mom's from here in Utah. My dad's from Texas. But my mom's dad is from Durango. He's from Durango.
From Durango.
So
I saw a video too today on YouTube where like it's this white couple. They travel to Mexico and they talk about scams and like they say like they get the gringo prices and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're like, well, this is how you battle it. And then they mentioned something like a company or something. It's Prospecto, or I don't know what it's called, Prosecco, something like that. Where if you call them, then and they get involved, then they know you're doing some shady shit to like tourists and stuff. Then they'll shut your business down.
Oh really?
So, yeah. But shit, I don't know,
bro. But it's not even like they charge a shit ton, bro.
Oh, it's not?
No, it's not like they charge a shit ton.
They wanted to go to Tulum from Cancun, and they're like, oh yeah, you should take the bus because we took a taxi ride, and he wanted us to pay $100 in tip. He was like, oh, I was gonna give him 10. Like, no, I was gonna give him 20, 25. And he's like, no, you need $100 in US dollars, $200, something like that.
Cancun is different because I actually I actually know that's how that city moves. Yeah, like by the dollars. Okay. It moves by dollars.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I in any place you don't want anybody to get scammed. You know, I'm sure there's scams out here that target immigrants and stuff like that, and fuck, it just sucks.
Yeah, it's because when you don't know, bro, like when you don't know, like you're bound to get played, bro. Anywhere you don't know, like they do have that thing, like they'll have a Mexican and bro, like compared to how much a Mexican makes and how much a person over here makes, like a Mexican is not gonna be able to afford the price that they're selling it to the white person, to the American.
And true, because he's like, oh, I want to keep my hard-earned dollars, but you probably sat at a computer, dollars, not hard-earned. They're hard-earned.
They're hard-earned.
Doing that construction work, not even making anything.
Right.
But still.
It's like $100 a week or something like around there.
Yeah.
So crazy.
But everybody wants to be treated fairly, but I get it. I don't know, people have to hustle, I guess, to make money.
Yeah. With one thing too, I've always wanted to go back to Mexico and like live there. So I have homeboys, right, that we went to school with. So they went to school with us, but they're from Mexico too. And when they got out of high school, they went down there. They moved back, and they come up here. Like my homeboy, just talked to him. We got together like a few months ago, and I hadn't seen him in a long time. Azrael, and we were having beers and we were talking and stuff. It was all the homies or whatever. And he was like, "Yeah, bros, I come out here during landscaping season. I'd get I get paid and shit like that, and then I go back to Mexico and I just like use my money out there to start businesses." And he has like a fucking badass little business, and I can't remember where he lives right now, but he opened this little like Xbox shop so people can get like coffee and like pasteles and stuff like that there and play video games. It's mainly for kids. And then he has another restaurant. It's just like a little like pop-up restaurant that he has, and he serves like of course Mexican food, but like American style foods too. And it's like cool to where he lives because he's not in a very big like town or anything, and so people like it and they go to his restaurant all the time. And he's like, I got a fucking nice house, you know what I mean? He found a wife down there, and she lets him come up here and shit. I was like, fuck, I need to do that.
I would love to. If I came into like a lot of money, if the wife would be on board, but she wouldn't be. But like taking that money and you go into a place where it's doubled or whatever, it expands to more. Like,
bro.
Why not? But
that's my goal, bro. For like the future, to have something over there, like get some land and shit.
Hell yeah,
get something over there.
I don't feel like I'd be accepted over there. I mean, not saying I couldn't fit in or whatever or learn enough to get me by. But I don't know. I feel I probably would feel a little out of place. But still, if my dollar's stretched and I'm living good, it'd be worth it.
They don't give a fuck, bro. They don't give a fuck. If you're living like a king, bro, you don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that shit would be dope. Or even fucking just getting a place like, I don't know, like somewhere decent and fucking Airbnb in it or something. I don't know. Down there.
Yeah.
Because people want to travel internationally and shit. Like, fuck, who knows? We can buy a fucking plot of land or an old house that's like however many miles away from like beach resorts in a fucking beach town and just fucking Airbnb that shit out. That's a move right there.
you sell to Americans, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. Yep.
Give them the gringo price.
No, you're giving them the gringo price.
You gotta be what's it called? What do they call them? Middle high class or above.
Oh yeah. Yep. It's funny about gringo and stuff, right? Because like as a Mexican American, you hear that you immediately think like white person, right? You're like, well, I'm not a gringo. But now that I talk to my friends in like Latin America, they're like, well, you're a gringo.
Yeah,
and I'm like, and I'm like, what? Like whenever they first told me that, I was like, what? Like no, I'm Hispanic. They're like no. They're like gringo means outsider. That means like you're not from here. Like even if you learn Spanish and I spoke Spanish and everything, like I'm getting better at it, bro, you're still gringo.
Yeah, gringo is a person from the U.S. Yeah. It doesn't matter what color you are.
Yeah. But I remember I was like, what? No, because like like I said, as a Mexican American, we're always told like all gringos are like white people, And so like, well, I'm not that. But no, like I'm an American, so I'm a gringo.
Did you find when you did come out here? Did you find a good community to like? Was it easy to get along here and stuff or whatever? Like friends?
I was
already settled or like.
So I lived here as a kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I lived here when I was like through like mid elementary, finished junior high and shit. Then I went back, so I already cut like Steve, like Santos. Mm-hmm. I already had people that I knew about, a couple homies. So I went directly to them.
Yeah.
To them, so it was kind of easier. I have friends that like come directly from Mexico or directly and it's a battle, bro. Because especially like if you feel alone, you don't have your family here and shit. like sometimes like you feel alone and shit.
Oh shit. That reminds me of a song. It's I don't even know if it's classified as a corrido, but it's called Mexicanos Están Tope.
By Santa Fe Clan.
Yeah. And he talks about...
It's un corrido, el corrido de Juanito, I think.
Okay, but he talks about that, like that feeling. It's about him coming here, immigrating here, and working here, and he talks about like that feeling of like he misses his father, he misses his village. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that song like speaks to you, bro. Even if you know a little bit of Spanish and you hear it, and like you're like, damn, like you can relate to Homeboy because like they leave everything to come here, family, friends, you know what I mean, to come here and to get just a little bit more than they could down there so they can have a better life, you know what I mean? But I like that song a lot.
There's another one that you should listen to. I don't know if you heard it already. It's called La Casita.
La Casita?
By Banda MS.
Oh,
it's
okay.
also
I like
a story
Banda
like
MS.
that. It's also a story of that.
I'll check that out because I like Banda MS.
I think that's why I would want to learn it more because the music is so deep. That's because whenever our mom would translate, Spanish music into English, and I'm like, damn, like, why don't we have music like that? And we probably do in country, maybe.
Right, maybe.
Rock, bro.
Yeah. But I don't know. The way she puts it, I'm like, dang, Mom, are you an artist or something? Because the way you're saying it, just it's so deep. It's touching me, but I don't know.
Yeah. I think the language is also deeper in Spanish than English.
Okay.
It's more like, I don't know, I think it's because there's a lot more vowels. Vowels in Spanish than English. Like every word, like most words end with a vowel. A, E, I, O, U.
Okay.
And right here, there's a lot more consonants and shit.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're a bridge or something? Like, I don't know. I think it'd be... Because was English your second language or your first?
Second.
So, yeah. Do you feel like it's... I don't know. I believe it's such a good tool just to, like, be able to have... I don't know. As many languages as you can.
Well,
you know? So, yeah. I don't know.
Bro. It helps you out.
Were you ever, like... not ashamed, but were you ever self-conscious about it? Or, like, I don't know.
No, I don't think I ever was, bro.
Okay, good.
I actually remember before the first time we came from Mexico when I was a little kid, like I actually got in my school they gave me a certification because I was like the best Spanish speaker, English speaker in the class.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, English the best. They gave me a certification. Yeah. I remember. I even remember getting here, bro. Like as a kid, getting here, coming down the airport, like holy shit, this is the U.S.
Right.
And then like some lady drops something, and I pick it up and I give it to her. I'm a kid. Yeah. And she's like, thank you. And I was like, you're welcome. Like, and then my aunt was like, oh, see, you already know English. I was like, oh, shit.
That's cool. That's dope. Oh, and that's how he got that certificate. He was like, remember that moment?
Yeah, I was like, that's what I was like, yeah, this is my chance. Who knows if I'll ever get the chance
again.
That's
so cool.
So yeah, with music, what motivates you? What inspires you? To keep going hard. What do you feel?
With music, I've always loved music. I've always done music. As soon as I turned 14 and I started like trying to rap, like writing songs with my friends or shit like that. Like, it's something that really stuck by me. Like, and I do feel music helped me a lot. It helped me a lot through my life, especially like through junior high and shit.
Yeah.
But I went back to Mexico. And that's when, like, in Mexico, the style was really conscious during this time. It was like conscious hip hop or really like boom bop and shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and you understand with lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like you have way more police brutality type of shit. You have way more shit going on, more poverty, you see more shit, you see more stuff go on. So you understand why, like, it's so deep. Like, why the culture, like, people are like willing to die for the culture, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like you get like harassed by cops because of the way you're dressing, or right here was already accepted,
right?
So I don't know. So seeing all that and actually kind of like maybe not living like the 90s New York, 80s New York and Mexico during that time, like it was kind of like that lifestyle.
Okay.
We kind of like, and since it wasn't accepted by no one, like only by a few people, like it made you like hold on to it more, like really appreciate it, like really appreciate. So I always believe that Mexico is where I started loving hip hop.
Okay.
Where I actually fell in love with hip hop.
Yeah.
And then I came back here, and then I was still writing. I would still go to people's house to record. They would be like, "Hey, do you want to come to this? Do you want?" Freestyle was really popular too, so I would always be asked to freestyle with people. Yeah. So I would freestyle over there, and then I would come back, and then I came back, bro, and then I started doing it until Rocky hits me up, and he's like, "Bro, let's do it for real."
Yeah.
And I was like, let's do it for real. And being that you don't have, like, I don't have a kid, I don't have a girl and shit. Kind of like, okay, I'm going to give it my all, see where it takes me.
Right.
And that's the point where I'm at right now. Hopefully, like, you know, I would like it. And the plan is for this thing to replace my full-time job. Even if, like, you don't, like, if I don't make it, like, into stardom, I don't really care. As long as I can live from this.
Yeah. Yep.
Where do you see that coming about? Because it's like, because I asked this question to myself too. It's like, what would you guys pay for? Because like, I would say when music was on CD and stuff, like people heard like a song, they would go buy the whole CD and $12 or whatever the CD cost, and they're making money. Maybe the artist still wasn't even making that much, but they're making more, right? Today it's all streaming and stuff.
Right.
I mean, you do a lot of shows. And so like a lot of money is probably in like doing shows, but yeah, what would you guys pay for, and how do you think that income will come about?
Merch, shows, shows being like, I don't know, giving yourself like now I don't know where I heard this. I don't know if it was with the program you did with Santos. I don't remember if it was down, but like nowadays people want to like feel close to like the artist, to be with the artist. I think you guys talked about it, no?
Yeah.
Yep.
To
to be with the artist, like one-on-one to like type of thing. So I feel like you have to figure out ways, and this is one thing that I'm still working out, that I'm studying, that I'm like like how can I connect more with how can I actually get like not diehard fans, but like fans that are willing to like buy your merch,
right.
that are willing to buy your to go to a show.
And that's the thing too. I think, and that's why I think people say fake it till you make it. And I'm not giving I understand. Because America loves winners, right? They love somebody who looks perceived to be like getting money, successful, making progress.
Right.
So it's like, do you have to? Not saying you, but do you think people have to have that perception of you to be like, oh, if I buy this from him, maybe I could be on the label, or maybe I could, he could put me on a verse and I could get, seen too. You know what I mean? Do you think there's fans now, or do you think there's people who want a piece of the pie, so to speak, to where you have to like have the perception to be like, oh, what can I sell to you it gives you something out of it?
There's probably people like that for sure, but I think what I like about music, what I've always liked about music, and I think a lot of people who are like music heads, is that they appreciate that the artist is willing to put themselves out there.
Yeah,
because there's so many introverts. Yeah,
that's true.
And so if you just like are that person and you're doing you, and people start following you and they like you for you, they're like, man, I wish I could do that. You know what I mean? I wish I could get on stage and rock like he can, or I wish that I could put out music.
Who think everybody rap, or a lot of people rap too or whatever, but it's like, I don't know, I feel like everybody wants to be involved in a certain sense. There's not just, of course there are going to be people, supporters, people who love your story, love what you do. I think that's cool. Like they'll say, I think that's cool, so let me just donate or something, But yeah, to have those hardcore fans, like I'm sure they're still there, but I don't know. There's so many other artists, so many other things that they could look, or people that are doing it on a different level, that they gravitate towards that. So what makes that, the small one, I don't know.
Yeah, I just think it's just putting, just keep working, because something's going to eventually hit,
Yeah.
I really dig like Pura Vida ENT's sound.
Yeah.
And the things that you guys do over there, and like you guys is all all you guys' label mates, because like we had Glocko on here, S is our cousin, But I like how you guys like you contribute to each other's projects.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you have that teamwork and shit like that, eventually something's gonna break, something's gonna hit. You know what I mean? Like shit, Drake was good, but he wasn't great until he got to YMCMB. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these guys were good and they had some underground, but they weren't great until they got involved with something.
Until they,
you know what I mean?
Somewhere.
Like Eminem was probably good and with Infinite and his first album and shit like that, but he wasn't great until Dr. Dre produced him. You know what I mean?
So you just gotta put on vida to go to. I'm just like a higher. You had the opportunity. I'm just
whatever that's mine, bro. I can't do it. Whatever that's mine.
No, but I respect it so much too, though, because you have it tatted on you, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like you have that logo on the hat, like you have it tatted on you, and like that's why, I just respect it so much. Because when I talk to Rocky, he's like the CEO, right? And yeah, you guys work so hard. Like I would never even want to like. Unless I was on that level to like, even want to get in, involved because I appreciate you guys so much. Because Serge, you guys invest so much into music videos and or time in the studio, and or artwork, whatever the case is. Like you guys are going hard.
We're trying to.
Yeah, so respect that.
We're trying to, yeah. And I feel like everybody pushes each other. Like not directly, like, hey,
right.
do this shit, like, but like, like. Bro, like, shout out to S-Rock too, bro. Like, S-Rock hustles, bro.
Yeah.
S-Rock hustles, bro. Like, he has, like, he's, like, kind of like me. He, like, works 2 jobs and shit. He'll be working 2 jobs, and he'll... sometimes I asked him once, I'm like, where do you get the time to write and shit? Like, because, like, you got your kid.
Right,
you got
he's working.
I'm like, I respect that. Same with Glauco, same with Rocky, bro. Like,
and I think that's what needs to be relayed, too. Not to say that you guys aren't relaying that, but, like, I think... If people knew that's what was going on, then they would support and respect it a lot. Because I know I do.
But people never see that.
Yeah.
People see when you're like fucking up. Like I have, bro, like people like, and I'm not saying like I'm fucking dope and shit.
Right.
But like I am living a better life than I would be living in Mexico.
Right.
So when people like, sometimes I think, like I have never asked them because I don't know how would I ask them. But I feel like if people hit me up, like all people that I went to school with, cousins and shit, they'll be like, oh damn, like look, you're doing it, like damn, that's fucking dope and shit. But where were you at when I wasn't doing it?
Right.
Where were you believing in that? Now that you're seeing the videos, now that you're seeing like
all this and
the
that.
girls in the videos, now you're like, oh, hitting me up.
That's true.
So it's not like I said, I'm not big and I'm not like fucking filling my head with like air and shit, but like I can only imagine like fucking artist like fucking giant.
Right.
That like out of nowhere a family member pops up saying like, oh damn, I was your dad, like type of shit.
Yeah. But then we go into like, because if on actual labels it's they give them an advance, which is a loan and stuff, and they have to pay that loan back with interest, so they're in debt because they to recoup all that money back and have some for themselves. Like it doesn't always work that way. And then if they do a second album, they give them another advance and another interest, so they're like even more in debt.
Right.
So it's like, I think the independent route is the safer and the best way to do it. In today's current world, it probably even back then, but now it's like better than ever because social media.
Yeah, because it's a better advertisement marketing. Marketing.
Yeah.
It's just like, I mean, sometimes it's like also luck.
Yeah.
We're not gonna lie, like,
right.
Like you could die in the process.
Yeah.
But I mean, and it's just about like studying, bro. Like I feel like studying, like seeing where like, oh, this city gave me so many views. Maybe I should like try to fucking figure out a way. Like, bro, so Gasling. Yeah. There's a cool story like Gasling. I want to check my stats. Song. Thank you, appreciate it. So I want to go. So I check my stats, bro.
Yeah.
Way more than any other city, bro. Like even like took out LA, took out Toluca and shit. San Francisco.
Really?
San Francisco. So now my mindset is, how do I get my music more heard over there? How do I get myself more...
Start wearing San Francisco.
49ers?
Go to the Super Bowl. I'm just kidding.
Just
that's a good idea.
Show love to San Francisco type of shit. Talk to people like, I don't know, maybe run ads to San Francisco.
Yeah. Those analytics, everything plays a part. And you have like a Nas... like a lyric tattooed on your bicep.
Yeah.
So you really love hip hop. Like
I hella fell in love with hip hop, bro. This is from what was the album? Illmatic.
Oh, okay.
It's for like the fucking best album in hip hop, bro. And there's nothing touching that.
Okay. And then you said Jay-Z. You said you're starting to see the merit in Jay-Z though. So do you think Jay-Z's better? Or what do you think?
Like, he's like, I'm just trying to give you a book worth of game for $9.99.
$9.99.
That's like, okay, like, oh shit. So to me, I feel like Jay-Z's also like if money, which is what rap talks about, like money and shit, he's the ultimate rapper.
Right.
Yeah, okay. That's good. No, that makes sense. Do you think in today's current generation, like, with the kids, that there's still a lot of game that can be given, a lot of it, or do you think it has to be limited to only a few bars to be, because like it has to be more memes or for TikTok or something, it has to be more catchy, so there's not a lot of game that...
It depends the age, I think, no?
Yeah.
The age of the kid.
Okay.
Like,
because it's always been a young man's...
Yeah, but like, if you think about it, like, bro, like, when you're 16, 17, 15, like, most of the time, you're not really going to care about game.
Yeah.
About them teaching you shit.
Yep.
You just want to fucking live the now, bro. Go party, go, go do something that enjoys yourself.
Yeah.
Well, the older that you get is when you start like being like, oh shit, like,
You can appreciate it.
Yeah, your ego kind of goes down.
Yeah.
And you feel like you can learn until a certain point where you're too old and now you're thinking that you know everything.
True. And you rap like mostly are all in Spanish, pretty much?
I would say it's like 95, 96%.
Okay. And then what are their songs mostly about? Because I mean, I love hearing it, but I probably can't pick up everything.
I feel like all my songs are all different.
Yeah.
In all sorts of ways. I have the Volar, which kind of told you the story. The Gasoline is kind of like showboating type of shit.
Yeah.
Like, like I burn like I'm gasoline. They listen to this shit from Mexico and Argentina. I'm scoring like Mike and shit.
Okay, yeah.
No andaba muerto, andaba de parranda. It's kind of like he wasn't dead, he was out partying.
Oh, okay.
That's basically the song title.
And your songs, they're like, they hit hard, and they could also like be in a club to where people could like kind of dance to it,
I feel like they are, but I feel like I still need to like make it more and more.
Okay, it's great.
Thanks, man.
I implore anybody to listen to it because
it helps me out now that I'm learning Spanish too. Like I listen to Glocko's shit, I listen to his shit. Santos, now that we had him on too, I listen to a lot of his shit. But I mean, like, cause it's cool because I remember now that I'm learning Spanish, the first time that I like re-listened to Selena's Como la Flor, and now I understand what she's saying because like it was always a popular song, but to a Mexican American, it's like we just root for her because she's Latina, she's Selena. But when I heard the lyrics to that, and I was like, holy shit, like wow, it's such a deep fucking song,
Yeah.
And like you were going back to like Spanish music is deep, bro, and like in Spanish, I feel like I wish I could rap in Spanish because like I think you have more like leeway things that you can say that rhyme in Spanish.
That's what Glocko says too.
Yeah, that you could in English.
Yeah, my aunt, she used to burn me CDs and stuff, like it would be like the Eminem show and whatever. She burnt me all Spanish, like it was kind of like your music too, all Spanish hip hop that just like hit hard. It wasn't just like super boom bap, but it was nice. And then I let my friend borrow it, and I never saw it again.
He liked it too much.
He became a rapper, and he was too, but I was like,
his name was Glocko. He started rapping in Spanish.
All right. So last question, because like Santos and everything, right? And like the community out here, there's other podcasts, there's other artists and stuff. What do you think, in your opinion, would benefit the community out here for people to support more?
What would benefit
like the hip hop community, music community, and stuff?
Getting I think that's a good question. I don't think there's like a straight up answer, but I feel like getting recognized outside. Okay. They say that no one's a prophet in their own land.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
so
true.
Like sometimes you kind of like have to like venture out in order, and then it comes like it goes back to what I'm saying. Now that in my hometown, like people seeing the movement, like now they're starting to like root for it.
Right.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, it's good advice. It's a good game, honestly. Because,
that is.
But it's like, why is it like that though? Is it because we only see like I see you as a friend, I don't see you?
I feel because no one has made it yet,
or I don't see.
Right.
Okay.
Because like, bro, like Atlanta, like. One person makes it and they go back and help out.
Everybody makes,
Houston too, like they went back and helped it out because they what was the documentary? I think it was like The Art of Hip Hop. I don't know if you guys have watched that.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
I think it's that one. They were like here in Houston or here in Atlanta, we didn't have New York labels, California labels.
Oh yeah,
so we all had to help each other out, and you see one win. And the other one starts winning, and the other one starts winning, starts becoming like, oh shit, we can all do this.
Right.
Yeah.
We can all, and it could be like abundance mindset type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, if he makes it, that means I'm not gonna make it. Or why is he gonna make it first?
Maybe.
And I feel like in Salt Lake, there's a lot of that.
Probably.
And you like in not in Salt Lake, just like, but I feel like
Do you think that there's some egos out there, like, to not help each other out, like, professionally, like in the studio or something? Like people, I want to write my own lyrics, or I want to, you know, do like kind of do it myself type of a thing. But like if we say it was like a Motown or something, right, where they helped them, like, oh, that line isn't good or that song isn't that good. So like,
well, that's what your team is there for.
Right, right.
I was saying that's what, like, you know, like I feel like awesome Pura Vida, we're like straight up to each other type of thing.
That's dope.
So like we'll tell each other like, hey, I don't think this line went, or I don't think like type of thing.
I think that's needed for sure.
Yeah, bro. And you gotta open yourself up to criticism, because not everybody like likes to get criticized.
Yeah.
When it's constructive, you know.
Right.
If it's not constructive and there's like shit, it's like, okay. Bro,
yeah. But also too, like, you gotta have constructive from like your actual, I guess, buyers of the music or something, or people who are gonna play it. Or,
those are the most important ones.
Right. Yeah. So
like I think Santos also said it in the other podcast. He's like, yo, get your own fans.
Yeah.
Like, don't be and bro, that's true, bro.
Oh,
like
yeah, that's true,
Glocko's fans are not gonna be my fans.
Yeah.
S-Rock's fans are not gonna be my fans.
Right.
But I know through working with Glocko, working with S-Rock, one of his fans might like the song Sancho Panza, because that's Glocko's song.
Yeah.
So one of his fans could see my verse and they might like it, and they're gonna search.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, oh, okay, I just got a fan.
Yeah, and you guys hustle tickets too, right? Like you guys actually sell tickets and stuff.
Yeah, we try to.
That's sick. I think that's dope, because if you have people, you know, paying money, that's their vote. Yeah.
I saw this thing. I don't remember where it was. I think it was the internet, where it's like, stop focusing on getting like 1 million followers and focus instead of getting like 1,000 loyal fans.
Right.
Oh yeah. That's so true. Yep.
Yeah.
What's the point of having 1 million followers if nobody buys your shit?
Right. Yeah. Yep.
You're not gonna live off a like.
Right.
And then that's like one of my favorite hats, like that Pura Vida hat. Like I bought it.
Thank you.
It's sticking to me till this day. It's still good. Like
Thank you.
But yeah, no, appreciate everything you're doing. Wish you much more success, and you know, just I don't know, keep giving us quality and showing yourself, your heart, your spirit, and hopefully everything.
Thank you, bro. And if the quality is right here, it has to go up here now. It can't go down.
It's gonna go up and up.
Yeah, it has to go up.
Maybe the last thing, is this a true or false story that you and Santos freestyle battled each other over the phone?
Yes, it's a true story.
Okay.
Yes, it's a true story.
At work.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that's dope.
But we didn't freestyle like to each other. Like, we used to send like voicemails.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, voice notes like.
We're like, you guys are working on a song still, or no? That you guys.
We got something that we're working on together. We got a track we're working on together.
That's a big collaboration. He's big, you're big. Like, Pura Vida. That's good. For me, I like seeing that too. Some unity. I mean, definitely, you guys are two separate entities. But just, you know, supporting each other.
And you would see like, so when I kind of hung out with Santos, reconnected with Santos when I came back. I was like 18.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's been like 10 years since that, and we've always been tried to work with music, but nothing has ever came out.
Yeah, it's all good. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's the time. Time. Only time tells, bro.
Yeah.
That's dope. But I'm really glad that you made it on, man. It was cool to have you.
Thank you for the invite.
So shout out to everybody in Pura Vida, ENT. And I just want to let everybody know who's watching. Thank you so much. We reached 101 subscribers. That's really cool. When we started this, we didn't even think we'd get 50. So it's really cool. Like, we appreciate it. Grateful for that.